Hey everybody, how we all doing? It's Katie Hemphill here, the Mountain Mystic, coming to you once again from my backyard trails, my backyard forest here in northern New Mexico, coming to you on a special day, a powerful day, the Spring Equinox. This day being one of the 2 days out of the year where the light and the dark, so the day and the night, are in perfect balance. Of course, the other time of year is fall as we're moving into winter, so days are getting darker. But now we've moved through winter, so we've been in this time of long nights, of cold, dark days. But now we're here at the Spring Equinox, and moving forward from today, we're going to be moving into days where the light now outbalances the dark, so there is more light each day than dark. And you know me as someone who likes to spend all the time she can outside, soaking in the sun, being with the earth. That means so much. And you know me, who's someone hanging out here in this priestessing space, this embodiment space. It is a space for us to get to play, a space for us to get to play as we look forward to embodying more light. So calling in more light, and as we're moving forward into spring, which is then going to move us into summer, summer being that time of the highest light, our fullest outward expression, before the cycle continues on from there. But we're not in summer yet. We're not in summer, and I can tell you that I know that I'm not in summer yet. I am very deeply in spring because I'm actually quite freezing out here today. I'm out here on a trail run. If you know me, you know I'm training for my third 100-miler, and it's kind of just a thing that keeps me outside on the trails as the fiery Sagittarius that I am. Now, set big goals for myself, push myself to the extreme, because for whatever reason, I'm wired that way. Anyway, I'm out here on the trails, and it's cold. But then I dropped down here into the canyon a little bit, found this nice rock and tree to help shelter the wind, and the sun came out, and now it's actually quite warm, and it's just this perfect, silly example of springtime, how, again, we aren't fully in summer yet. We aren't basking in the endless light. We aren't out in full expression, wanting to get outside, eager. You know, it was so cold and it was cloudy when I was leaving, and it was this oh, I have to get myself out the door. You know, so much of myself still just wanted to go inward. And I know I was writing before this. I was kind of trying to convince myself to just sit on the couch and meditate, but I knew I needed to get out here. I promised you guys this video, and I've made a promise to myself to be out running routinely. So just a silly little example from my own life of what it means to embody spring. Again, this time where, yes, we are so ready for more light, more sunshine, more full expression of self, but we're not quite there yet, right? We're actually really in this window where it's, and maybe you're feeling this, maybe you've been feeling this lately, especially with the eclipse happening. Maybe you feel like you've been getting squeezed a little bit, it's this pressure, this pushing down, or this squeezing. I've had the biggest brain fog the last few days, and I've just felt kind of this weight pushing down on me. And you know, I've been speaking to it, I just feel like I'm being squeezed through a little kind of wormhole, this portal, as we move through this eclipse season and the spring equinox, and get ready to open to the other side, right? The other side where more sunshine awaits us, those longer days, those warmer days. And of course, I speak to it, you know, physically and the way it manifests in nature, because That's what I do in this earth priestessing space is, speak through what is happening in nature. And I do that for two reasons. One, I use it as a sort of framework, a way for us to be able to reflect our own lives. Like maybe because we are biological beings ourselves, we would want to follow the rhythms, the cycles of nature, because nature has wisdom. It has immense wisdom. Yes, as much as our human beings love to tell ourselves how oh so smart we are, a little, secret that shouldn't be a secret is that our intelligence is actually super limited. But when we can sort of be in tune with nature, look to nature for its wisdom, then, maybe we learn a thing or two. So, that's what I'm doing these days, is looking to nature for her wisdom, and me myself working to embody that so that I can live in balance, so that I can live cyclically. Right, and that's in contrast to this sort of patriarchal, linear way that we've been taught to live as humanity, a humanity that has been taught to push forward endlessly, that growth is linear and exponential and always moving in that forward direction. And that's not true. That's not true, and nature teaches us this. It teaches us that life comes into expression and then it falls away. So just like the seasons, right? Here we're in spring, we're emerging into this new season, this full expression of light. And then summer's gonna happen, and that's this fullest expression of light, right? That's when everything's in bloom. Then fall's going to come, and that's going to start to fall away. It's going to start to decay, and we're going to move into winter, this dormant season, where all that was expressed has fallen away onto the earth. The earth is decomposing it so that it can be made into nutrients, so that it can be birthed again next spring. And just like nature, we ourselves can do the same thing. We can use the same sort of model, that there is a time to be in fuller expression, to bring things through. And that's where we are right now, right? Spring is a time of planting seeds. So planting intentions, right? Creating those intentions. Maybe you're planning for a new project or this summer. That time of year where you'll be working to bring something into full expression. Or maybe you'll be getting out of the way, not trying to control life and just allowing it to come into full expression, right? Gardeners know that. Gardeners know the balance of, yes, there's work to be done, but really most of the work is just getting out of the way so that life can do life. Losing our thread here. Because of that, what I want to do is go to our second point, right? I said, there's this first way we can work with nature that's like using it as a model or a mirror. So I think of this as a very mental activity where we can call upon our minds to learn from nature, to understand it, and to use it as a model. The other way is to learn to be ever more fully present with nature. Because as the core of what we teach here, you as the human being that you are nature. You are a biological being. You are not just your head and your ability to understand the world. You are a body. And as the whole body is the whole human being that you are tied into nature. So even if you have no understanding, no comprehension of what is happening with the seasons, you are still being impacted by them. Right? In the winter, the days are darker. We sleep more. We aren't as motivated to get outside, so we're not as active. In the summer, there's more light. It draws us out. It wants us out in motion. I'm bartending these days at a brewery, right? And it's like the summer is when everybody is out being social, right? That's when it's packed because everybody wants to be around community. Everybody wants to be around other people. The winter, everybody's at home, internal, Netflixing, reading a book, whatever they're doing. But it's this sort of natural rhythm, and no matter how conscious you are to it, it's happening, right? The seasons unfold and they affect us. So here we are sitting at the spring equinox and, following these kind of two different things we can do today. One, we can think about it. And that's what I'm doing here, right? I'm bringing you words. I'm teaching you about the seasons and how they could impact you. I'm teaching you how they can be a mirror or a model for your life and how you may want to consciously play with it. So, for example, today is a great day to plant seeds, to set intentions. Spring, new beginnings, setting those seeds for new life. So a practice you might want to do today is to sit down and create new intentions. Like, what do you want to do? Since this is spring, so you might want to think annually, like this next year, right? What is a big intention that you want to plant, right? And maybe you have an actual plan set to that. So that might be something you want to do today. So for example, what's big in my life as it relates to you is creating these earth embodiment circles, right? So this is big for me. This is big for me too. I've kind of been more closed off. Like, yes, I've been holding these circles, but I've been holding them more like behind closed doors within a network. I haven't really been doing my own marketing for them, but with this next cycle, it's become very loud to me that this next year is about bringing these earth embodiment circles to you so that we can meet on Zoom, hang out on Zoom. As part of that, I've been creating more space to come to you live, which is what I was supposed to be doing today until I learned that it was roofing day. And my whole house is just chaos filled with drills and men stomping on the roof. And it's something I'm super grateful for because it means we get a new roof, and we needed a new roof. But it showed up on a day that I was supposed to be alive, which is why I'm here. Again, make sure you're on my email list so that, you get that direct connection with the most important things to know, so that when we have to pivot, like I need to come out here to you in the woods, not hold a YouTube live with the building shaking and drills, and I don't even know what, there was like a crane moving outside my window. Anyway. So the first thing we can do, right, getting us back on track here, the first thing we can do when it comes to working with the seasons, working with the earth, is learn from it. Use it as a mental model. And from that mental model, make conscious decisions, do all that analyzing, make our plans based off the year, that sort of thing. The other thing we can do, right, and this is my favorite thing to do, this is what we're really here to do these days, is to embody the earth, to be the earth, which is really quite simple because you are earth. So what this piece really is less about an act of doing and more of a letting go into, more of very simply, not necessarily easy, but very simply bringing your consciousness to the fact that you are earth. So let's do it. Let's do it here. I am here. Sun is now fully shining up ahead. I've found a ponderosa to sit on. Look at this, guys. Can you see this? He literally, you're not going to be able to see it. He literally, with his kind of root and trunk, formed this perfect little seat that I found so I can sit not just next to him, but on him. So I'm here out in my nature. But I'm going to invite you to tune in with the land that you're on. So tuning into the land you're on, and you're probably inside. You know, if you want to get outside to do this, that's wonderful. But if you're inside, that's fine. You notice I'm slowing down my talking. This invitation to start to turn inward, tuning into self. An invitation to take some deep breaths down into your body. Taking those deep, deep breaths down into your body, into your chest, into your abdomen. If you're seated like me, maybe you breathe down into your sits bones in connection to the chair. If your feet are on the floor, maybe you breathe all the way down into your feet in connection to the floor. Continuing to take those deep breaths down into self. And noticing there's a slowing here. Right? As humanity, we move through life at this ridiculous pace. And nature doesn't move in that way. Nature moves slower. So there's this slowing down of your breath, a deepening of your breath. As you connect inward into your body, feeling into those sensations as you breathe into self, as you breathe as self. And breathing into the ground beneath you. Again, if you're inside, down through the floorboards, down into the earth, down into the dirt, the rocks, the roots, the soil. I've got this layer of pine needles below me. Kind of feel into the pine needles, the pine cones, this ponderosa, these rocks that are holding me, this canyon that I'm looking out on. That's me, what's alive for you as you connect into the earth that you stand upon. Inviting in imagery. Breathing into this space as you connect with the earth you stand on. This is grounding. This is grounding as we energetically, consciously connect into the ground beneath us, into Earth herself. And as we do this, we aren't leaving our bodies. We are breathing into our bodies. We are breathing as our bodies. So in this way, we are connecting into self as we are connecting into nature, as we are connecting to ourselves as nature. That's what we're doing here. So as you continue to breathe into this space, I invite you to find the sun. For me, it's noon now. The sun is right above me. It's actually blaring right in my eyes. I should probably be wearing sunglasses. So it's really easy for me to find the sun right now, to open up to it. Maybe it's not that easy for you, but I still invite you to find the sun. Even if you're inside, where is the sun in the sky right now? Finding that sun, bringing your conscious attention to the sun as you continue to breathe in connection to your body. Breathing in connection to your body, in connection to the earth. Breathing in connection to your body, in connection to the earth, in connection to the sun. And if you're feeling into this in the way I am, it's almost like we have this axis, sun above, earth below. Maybe you're feeling it that way, maybe you're not. Feeling into what's true for you as you embody this practice. Being present in self, in connection to the earth, in connection to the sun on this spring equinox. Breathing here. And we're going to keep this practice simple. We're going to keep this practice simple as we move into an allowing, a getting out of the way, a witnessing. Like, what's here? What is here for you as you do this practice? Do you feel a warmth from the sun illuminate you, warm you up? Do you feel a grounding from the earth and pulling you inward or else holding you up? You can be feeling both of those at the same time and more. What's alive for you in this practice? What's alive for you in this practice? Breathing into this practice. An invitation to stay in this practice as long as you'd like, to repeat it if you're inside, big invitation to go do it outside. Simple. Breathing into self in connection to the earth below and the sky above. And powerful as you sort of open up to this earth embodiment playground. Right? And this is a playground because from here, right, we have this basic structure, but from here, sort of the opportunity for where we go, what we experience, what we explore is endless. Maybe instead of opening to the sun, you open up to the trees above you, the trees around you. Maybe you open up to the rocks that are holding you. So in this moment, what are you called to tune into? Maybe you are feeling this pull for more grounding. So it's the rocks below you or around you that sort of call you in, ask for your attention as they offer you a space for holding. Maybe it's the trees, and it's this opportunity to dig those roots down deeper. If you need deep roots, the ponderosa is a great one to tune into. As they reach high up and expand outward, those trees expanding outward, soaking in the sun, soaking in life. Those deep roots going down into the earth, connecting with the soil, the mycelial network, the other trees, the other plants in the ecosystem. And then in this way, we get to play in this earth embodiment playground, tuning directly into ourselves as earth herself. Noticing how different this is from, what our first sort of point was, our first way we can interact with the earth. That is using our minds to understand it, to comprehend it, and using it as a model that we can consciously interact with, right? That's powerful, it is. And I teach you ways to do that. But that's not what we're doing in this practice. In this practice, it's more about getting your head out of the way. Because as we do this, you'll notice that your head is probably getting in the way. Thoughts will come up, stories, maybe important to-dos, maybe reasons not to be doing this practice will pop into your head, pull you out of the practice, pull you out of this conscious connection with the world around you. So the embodiment practice is often one of getting your head out of the way so that you can tune in directly. And as you're tuning in directly, observing, bringing consciousness to what is here. What is here, what is here, what is here. So as we move through the spring equinox further into spring, you have an invitation to keep tuning in. Earth below, sky above, trees and rocks and plants and animals around you. As you are directly connected into self, tuned into self, conscious of self, of your whole being, knowing that that's a process to be able to tune in more and more and more, to become more and more conscious. Tuning into the earth, tuning into the sun, tuning into life, and observing what's unfolding for you. Where are you being guided? Were you being guided to bring your conscious awareness? Were you being guided to work, to plan, to think, so that you can solve problems and create a more beautiful world. All these different things we're doing here in this embodiment space. I invite you to keep doing this all spring long and into the summer and the next winter, and on and on and on it goes in the cyclical nature of things. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna keep running. As I've mentioned, I'm cold and I need to move my body. So I'm gonna go on my run. I thank you so much for hanging out with me today. As always, if you're here hanging out, especially till the end, please leave a comment. Let me know what you're experiencing over there. If you're not a part of the newsletter, sign up at upwardslopes.com. You'll get another free meditation when you do that. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. All right. Once again, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I gotta show you this little seat, guys. Look at this. Look at this nice, like, perfect little seat that this tree made for me. Not just for me, I'm not that self-centered, but invited me to come sit on. I'll probably film more videos from this spot. I like this one, like, nice and protected by all these rocks, right with this tree, and the big canyon drop is right there. So I get to look out on the full canyon, all the ponderosas around me. What a beautiful spot. All right, I'm gonna go run. Thanks for hanging out. Catch you next time.